I think there is a great misconception perhaps by people who maybe listen to records and don't necessarily always create them, that by going through something tragic or some heavy drama in your life that automatically it creates a masterpiece. And I think I can speak probably for quite a few artists in the past and maybe even currently that when you're in the midst of depression and it seems like your whole life is just crumbling around you day by day, generally the last thing you're thinking about is making a record. The first difference upon listening to this record as compared to our earlier records is, there is a lack of distortion, loud, aggressive guitar work that sort of ran through most of our other earlier work. To us it was a challenge not to rely on it, to work harder on the use of silence. Yeah, I think the word orchestral pop, isn't just a new phrase or even a catchphrase now. It's always been, certainly throughout the middle part of the century, especially in American music, most pop was orchestral. My mother listened to music from a station called WNEW in New York, not the rock station. They had more of a popular standards show called the Make Believe Ballroom. And so when I grew up, that's basically the music I was listening to. A lot of old Sinatra and music like that by Gordon Jenkins or Ray Ellis and Artie Shaw and things like this. And so it just became part of my own consciousness, I guess, if that's the word. As I hit the teenage years and the Sex Pistols and Velvet Underground, the Ramones, there was obviously, in my head I kept thinking, well, I've got to react pretty harshly against, a lot of the Benny Goodman Sing, 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 Carnegie Hall, 1938, and just sort of dive into punk rock. But as I go on in years, I find that I really can't shake a lot of those influences very, very easily, and they tend to come out in the work that I do. More so than the Sex Pistols and the Ramones or Black Sabbath.
It definitely put a stamp on our songs and on Deserters' songs. I mean, that's what a lot of the songs are really about, is going through that period. And so, hopefully you come out on the other side unscathed. And probably a lot of people don't. We sort of moved up to the Catskills and things to get away from the hustle and bustle of, I lived in New York City, and it's stimulating, but sometimes it can be too much, where people are, listen to this, check this out, see this film, and you forget what you want to do. And so being in that environment in the Catskills, you can sort of do what you want to do, and that's Deserters' songs. The title is about that. It's deserting the rest of the industry, or deserting ourselves and finding yourself. If you think of the Grateful Dead or something as psychedelic, we're not really like that. But something like the Velvet Underground or something was considered psychedelic. I don't know, I think it's just a word. We like to say, let's trip this out. I like that a lot better than psychedelic. I like a lot of Miles Davis, like Sketches of Spain, and that he did with Gil Evans. There's a lot of Chet Baker records I like. But then I like stuff like Television's albums. people like, you know, like the band, like Levon Helm and Garth Hudson, or Jack Nietzsche or Phil Spector, they were trying to make music that was that was timeless and that had a definite atmosphere to it. And they were also, you know, sort of outlaws in a way within the music that was being made at the time. They were doing other things. They weren't going with the trends. They operated in their own sort of musical vacuum, and you know, that's some of the things that we would hope to accomplish.